Good morning, students. I am your English teacher, Mr. Parikshit Rana. Welcome you all in this YouTube channel. Friends, today we will discuss our poem number 2, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. This poem has been taken from our book Flamingo. The poet of this poem is Stephen Spender. This is something about poet. He was born in 1909 and died in 1995. He was an English poet and essayist, and he left University College, Oxford University, without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. This is his poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, is a part of his book, The God That Failed. The theme of this poem is social injustice and class inequalities. So look here, this is the first stanza of our poem. I will read each and every line and I will explain. So concentrate here. The very first line, far, far from gusty waves. Here gusty means I have written breezy winds. We can also say that healthy, fresh environment. So far, far from gusty waves. So far away from healthy, fresh environment. These children's faces, the face of these children are without hope. So this is the explanation of first line, that far away from healthy, fresh environment, the faces of these children are without hope. Now the second line, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor. Pallor, the meaning is written here, pale or dull face. So like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor. So the hair of those children are like a rootless weeds. What is rootless weeds? What the poet wants to suggest by using these words, rootless weeds? He wanted to say that rootless weeds means unwanted plants that grow on their own. So these children are also like these rootless weeds because they are also unwanted and grow on their own. The hair torn round their pallor. Poet says that the hair is scattered, untidy. The hair is scattered, untidy around their pale faces, around their dull faces. We can also say that their disorderly hair are torn around and look like rootless weeds. Okay? Now the next line, the tall girl with her wing down head. So there was also one tall girl in the classroom, and that tall girl is sitting with her head down because she is depressed and overburdened with poverty. So this girl was very poor, who is sitting in the corner of the classroom. So poet observed all this scene in the classroom about the children, and he explained here. He has written everything here in these lines. Now another boy, the paper seeming boy. Here poet compare the boy with paper. So poet wants to say that the paper swimming boy with rat's eyes. So poet says that there is one boy also who is thin as a sheet of paper. So that boy was thin as sheet of paper. And he also compared the boy with the eyes of rats. So poet says that the boy's eyes are like the eyes of rat because it reflected greed and he wants to achieve everything. So that उसकी आंख देखकर ऐसा लग रहा है कि उसकी आंखें एक चूहे जैसी है. And that eyes are greedy and wants to achieve everything. Okay. Now the next line. The stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones. This is not a H-A-I-R. This is H-E-I-R. Means a successor. The stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. Gnarled means rough. So here poet wants to say that there is one stunted and unlucky boy in the classroom who has inherited, hair means inherited twisted bones. So he has inherited twisted bones. He inherited this disease from his father, means from the disease of his father. यानी ये जन्मजात बीमारी है जो अपने बच्चों में आती है. So father's gnarled disease means from his parents. This disabled boy is sitting on his bench. So he was sitting on his bench and reciting. The word reciting is written here, and reciting his lessons. Okay, his lessons. Reciting his lessons. Now the next line. At back of the dim class. So there was also one boy who is sitting at the back in the dim class. One unnoted, sweet and young. So poet wants to say us that a sweet young boy is sitting unnoted at the back of his dim class. Something about his eyes. His eyes live in a dream. So poet says that his eyes were bright and full of dream. He was not paying attention of squirrel's game in tree room, so that he was observing the squirrel outside in the class. So that poets other than this, so that poet says that that boy was not paying attention to the class, but it seemed as he was rather interested in playing with squirrels is the tree house. So there was one squirrel on the tree and he was busy in observing that squirrel instead of concentrate in the classroom studies. Okay, so this is the explanation of first stanza. Now the explanation of second stanza. On sour cream walls, donations. So the meaning of these words are: the walls of the school are creamy in color. The color of the walls are creamy. This suggests that walls are not clean but dirty. Shakespeare's head. So there is the picture of Shakespeare's head on the wall. So not only the picture of Shakespeare, but there are many pictures on the wall. Poet says that there are some pictures or images on the wall donated. Donation word is written here. So donated by different people. So there is a picture of Shakespeare on the wall. The head of the Shakespeare on the wall. There is also a picture of clear sky, cloudless at dawn. Dawn means early in the morning. So cloudless means clear. So there is the picture of clear sky of the early morning. Civilized dome riding all cities. Dome means गुंबज. किसी मंदिर के ऊपर जो गुंबज होता है या तो किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन के ऊपर होता है, उसकी बात कर रहा है कि civilized dome riding all cities. Domes of institutions of the civilized world shine in every cities. Now the next line, bell, flowerly, Tarolis valley. So poet says that there are also the picture of Tarolis valley which has beautiful flowers. So this valley has beautiful flowers and music of bells are sharp contrast to the atmosphere of the classroom. So these beautiful things are in the picture, but all these things are totally different from the atmosphere of the classroom. Open-handed map awarding the world its world, and yet for these children, this window, not this map, their world. So poet wants to say through these two lines regarding map that there is the picture of map also on the wall, but for these children it is irrelevant. How we can say that it is irrelevant? Because the world of these children is different, which is shown in the map. So in the map we can say that there is the map of world, but the world in the map is totally different from the world of these children. Their world is only what they see outside the window. So their world is very small, very small and limited. So they can see outside the window, and so that poet says that the world is only what they see outside the window of the classroom. Means surrounding is unpleasant. So there is also the difference of the world of this classroom and the world of the map. Now new line, where all their futures painted with a fog. फॉग का मतलब यहाँ पर धुंधला. उनका फ्यूचर कैसा है? धुंधला है क्लासरूम में. सो वेयर ऑल their future is painted with a fog. So poet wants to say that their future is full of darkness. The fog of uncertainty dominates their future, and there is no wide space available for their future. Okay. Now last two lines. A narrow street sealed in with a lit sky, far, far from rivers, capes and stars of the birds. Poet says that narrow street sealed means these children are trapped in hopeless world, and they are far away from the beautiful nature. Here the words are given: rivers, capes and stars are the sign of nature, are the objects of nature. So poet says that these children are far away from this beautiful scenery, beautiful nature such as rivers, caves and stars. Now third stanza. Look here. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. So for the children, this dramatist Shakespeare is a wicked person, means bad person, evil person. Why the children consider Shakespeare is a wicked person? Because Shakespeare says that this world is a beautiful, and this world is beautiful, but the world of these children is not beautiful. The classroom as a world is not a beautiful for them. So they consider Shakespeare as a wicked man. The map a bad example. Map is also a bad example for them. Map is not good thing for them. Now the next line, with sheep and sun and love tempting them to steal. These beautiful things. Poet says that the world is full of attraction. This sheep, sun means warmth, affection, love, and love attract the children. The outer things of the world attract those children. Their desire of being loved by others force them to steal something. For lives, they styly turn in their cramped holes. They live in a small house. Cramped holes means here they live in a small house. They have to adjust to it. Their life is going toward an endless night. From the darkness, from fog to endless night, means their life is going toward an endless night from the darkness. On their slag heap, these children were skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel. These children's the skins of these children are so thin that one can see their bones. उसके शरीर में से उनकी हड्डियाँ, इतना पतला शरीर था उनका कि उनकी हड्डियाँ दिख रही थी. Were skins peeped through by bones. So their children's skins are so thin that one can see their bones through the thin layer of the skin. These kind of children or these kids suffer from the malnutrition. Poet wants to say that these type of children are suffering from the malnutrition. Now the second thing, spectacles of steel with mended glass like bottle beads on stones. So poet says that their spectacles are of steel, which are very cheap and uncomfortable. Uncomfortable glasses of the spectacles, and uncomfortable of glasses of the spectacles are repaired. वो repair किए गए हो ऐसे दिख रहे थे. They look like a piece of bottle on the stones. Here it is written that like bottle beads on stones, means they look like the spectacles are looking like a pieces of broken bottle on stones. Okay. Now the last two lines. All of their time and spaces are foggy slum. All their time and spaces is spent in foggy or dirty slums. They are living in a hell. It is written doom. Doom means a hell. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom. They are a blot on their civilized world, the world of rich and the great. it is difficult to escape from this slum or slum area, this big world of them. This slum area is the big world of them, and it is like a hell. Now the last stanza. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map become their window, and these window that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Here poet wants to say that government, inspector, visitors and other important person should do something for these children. They can change the life of these kids. They can make the world map reality for them. Break, oh break, open till they break the town, and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands, and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and green leaves open history there, whose language is the sun. Here poet wants to say that the unsuitable environment of the slum has blocked all their gates of progress. They are lying shut like catacombs. Here the word is given catacombs. So their life is like a catacombs. It means underground graves. Catacombs means underground graves. So these obstacles should be broken. We should bring them from the darkness to light. In the end, last 4 lines, poet wants to suggest us that he says that let them enjoy the green field and beauty of nature. Poet wants these kids to experience the sand and blue sky. Let the pages of wisdom be open for them. Green leaves and white leaves. Poet says that let the pages of wisdom be open for them, and let them express their feelings without any fear. Poet says that they will then go through white and green leaves, run naked into books, the white and green leaves open. What he wants to say that? He says that they will then go through white and green leaves, means white is books, white leaves means books, and green leaves means nature. So books and nature. History there whose language is the sun. So poet says that this will then result in their progress or bright future. Only those person can create history. Last line. Only those person can create history whose language has warmth and strength of the sun. So thank you very much for listening this video. Next unit we will discuss next time.